Welcome, one and all. Thank you to our friends on Facebook and YouTube for following us this far. We're excited to have you on this journey with us on This Is Us tonight. It's promised to be another exciting session. We're excited to have the guests that we have with us tonight on This Is Us. And so we're going to have a fun night, a very reflective night, and we're excited to invite our guests with us tonight.
Not to forget those on Instagram following us at This Is Us Jones Clan. You are very special as well, and a special shout out to you. We are happy and excited about this evening's episode, and you will understand why in just a moment. Last week, our guests for this evening celebrated in fine, smashing, fantabulous style their 37th wedding anniversary. And we want to continue to extend congratulations to them and celebrate with them. And so in honor of that, just for you, our followers, our viewers, our listeners, we decided to bring them on as our special guests this evening. Now, while we were out with them marking the observation, somewhere along the line, a conversation warmed around to a comment that I was sharing, a comment that someone had made to me recently. And the person said, I don't know how it is that a person could stay married to one person for so many years. Like, I'm not sure how many years means is so many years, but the point is the person was saying they don't think it is possible for themselves to stay married to one person for so long. And so I was making that comment against the backdrop of this couple celebrating 37 years of marriage and wanting to have more of that. Obviously something
3,700 words.
Perhaps. Obviously something is good and very good about marriage that makes them want to continue. This evening we want to find out what is what's the word? The I word.
I'm just still stuck at 37 years, and I want to ask you the question, like, how many years are you gonna go?
As long as the Lord lets me breath. That's all I intend to do.
Because 37 years is a very long time.
That's
a very long time.
That's more years than you have been alive.
Yes. So why you want to do that, Tom?
Yeah.
I'm a teenager.
All right. So we're going to go to a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to bring our guests on set, and we're going to jump in. We're gonna have some fun as we learn about their younger years and about their journey, and of course, we're going to get into some serious stuff because we want to learn from them. Even for us as relatively young couple compared to them, we're at number 10, nowhere near 37. And we certainly want you, our viewers and listeners, to learn from them as well. You perhaps have some ideas of your own from your own experiences. Remember, it's our stories.
Your stories.
Our journey.
Your journey.
And it's all about learning together. So we'll be right back.
So we want to invite and welcome our most esteemed guests tonight with us. Can I just say they are my parents? Hi, mommy. Hi, daddy.
Hi, Latoya.
Others know you as Melvine and Easton. I know you as mommy and daddy. So I'm so excited to be Interviewing?
Yeah, how does that feel?
Yeah.
To be interviewing your mom.
It feels great. Because I get to ask all the questions. I remember when they used to grill me like, Latoya this, Latoya that. No, I get to ask all the questions.
No, you guys are in the hot seat.
You are now in the hot seat. So welcome, Melvine and Easton Berry, to This Is Us. We wanted you guys to be here a long time, and I guess we had to celebrate 37 years.
Right, so perfect timing.
We get you on, but we're so excited to have you on with us tonight. So welcome to our podcast. This is Us, where we discuss things about us, things about you, things about just everybody and their experience as they
navigate
through
relationships. Life is in relationships, and relationships are life.
Yes.
That's what This Is Us is about.
Right.
So we're gonna jump right in, and our first question for you is: how does it feel to be married for 37 years?
Well, let me go first.
Right to the point.
It's an exciting journey.
Yep. All right.
It's fun. Fun loving. Feels good. You're 10. 37 years. That's almost what, 4 decades?
That's what?
That's almost 4 decades.
Yeah.
Almost 4 decades. Yes.
Yeah.
Almost a whole generation.
Exactly.
It is as though as it was yesterday. You know, I am feeling like the 8th of September 1985.
And even though you say it's 37 years, I say to you, to both of you often, that you really don't look like 37 years of marriage plus children, because you guys look very young still. So what's the secret? Is it being married for so long and being in each other's space that has kept you this looking young?
Secret? Are there any secrets though? Well, there's a saying that the colonel of KFC, I think they said he has some secret in a secret ingredient that he puts in the chicken that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
But for marriage, I don't think there's any real secret. It's just that the two persons will have to decide what they want. They have to communicate with each other, know about each other, love each other every day, renew the love, keep the fire. And that's what we've been doing over the years. Right. That's why our fire is not going out.
Right. You have to keep the fire burning, right?
And I recall because we're always sharing stories about, how you guys met, the age you guys got married, and mommy, daddy, Melvine, Easton, you guys got married very young. I can recall, mom, you were 20 on your 20th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
You got married.
Yeah. So that's the other thing.
Yes.
On mom's birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were 20, and we know that at 20 years old, a young person has no clue as to what they want. But here you guys are, 37 years later. What was going through your mind walking down the aisle with daddy at 20 years old?
Well, speak up.
20, fresh out of high school, basically. and she still wishes that.
When I was on the church porch, and the reality hit me up, living my life with someone for so long, making the decision so early. But I think I love him and he loves me, and we love God. And that is what removed the fear. So I was going down happy and looking as if
I have no care in the world because I was born down with someone who loves God. And marriage is an institution that's begun at creation. It's the first institution. When God created marriage, it was created for permanence. And so when persons take this decision to marry into someone's family, it is one of the best decisions, and it is one of the most serious decisions they will ever make. And so when anyone takes the decision of marrying someone, they should see it as very important and critical to their own life. Because when we come together, it is about value, adding value to each other. And because from the marriage comes children. And this brings me to a discussion we had on Sabbath, where we talk about which is better, which is more important, relationship or money. And we ended by saying relationship is more important because from relationship, we can make money. Anything else will come if relationship is maintained and sustained. And that is what we want to do. That is why we are still here after 37 years.
Look at them. I totally agree. I've said that after the decision about one's eternal destiny, the decision as to where you would spend your eternity, in my view, the next most important decision that a person can make is the decision to marry. Perhaps even more important than the choice of your career, because you're talking about a decision that literally has implications for every other aspect of your life. It's a deal breaker. It's a make or break. And you said something that is very important that I want to just reiterate for our viewers and listeners. The importance that you placed on your partner at the time, his relationship with God, and then you also credited the relationship that you both have with God as a very important factor in the longevity of your marriage and the success that your marriage has been thus far. Talk to us a little bit more about that. How does that work? How exactly does that help? What difference does it make knowing that your spouse loves God, and what role does this whole God thing play in a successful and a long and lasting marriage?
Well, you see, the thing is that when God is first in anything, then that undergirds everything. Because incidentally, both of us, I think we accepted Christ in the same age, at the age of 14. And we were serious about our relationship with God. It's not just like some young person who are just fooling themselves. We were serious about having a strong, firm relationship with God. And we made him priority in our lives.
Right.
Yes? So I think that is one of the main things that have kept us going, because God is the center of our lives.
I just want to wade in here that there are persons who will say that they were put together by God and they leave the marriage on God to work it out. No, marriage is like a partnership. It is a partnership.
It is a partnership.
So it cannot be left on God to solve our problems. We have to be committed. We have to commit to our goals or objectives or aspirations.
Right.
And we have to come into marriage with a plan. What plans do I have for myself? Whatever plans we have, we need to talk about them and talk to God about them. And with God directing us, whatever plans we have, we know it will come to fruition. Because anything that God touch or anything that God is in must work. It's not a question, it's a must. And so by faith, with God and our desire to be the best version of ourselves at all times and protect our each other's emotion, each other's feelings, then we know that we will be reflecting the nature of God. So not just to say God, but to try to be Christ-like, meaning take on his nature, to be kind, to be loving, to forgive, and to also help in whatever area we can. Help each other. Don't let them be strain on each other. Do things together at all times, not just one or two things, but all the things that we do should be done together.
Right. I mean, it may sound, I like how you brought it across so simply, but you are touching on something that is very profound, because I was going to say, there's a term, play devil's advocate, which is not a term that I like, because I don't want to play any role for the devil. But to raise the question, because you started out by saying you put God first and you both love God, and to throw in the mix that the reality that in a number of countries, don't know what the current most up-to-date statistics are for Jamaica, but in a number of countries, the divorce rate among Christians or religious persons is sometimes just as high, or sometimes even higher than for non-religious people. So I was going to ask, well, how is that possible? But you've hit the nail on the head, that it is not about a passive thing where you just say, well, you put God first, or well, you pray, but you made the point. And again, I want to just really zoom in on it, because we want persons to come away with some concrete things from each episode. And you are making the point that, yes, you have to involve God. Yes, you have to rely on God. But at the end of the day, it is not passive. God is not going to magically, if I hear you right, fix things. That you, the individuals in the marriage and collectively as a couple, you have to play your own role in following what God says. You spoke about loving like God and forgiving like God, and being kind like Jesus, with Jesus as our model. And those are not the easiest of things. Those are often very difficult. So it's not just to have a passive acknowledgement, say, well, you put God first in your marriage. But I think where the cookie crumbles really is, are you willing to do like God and to be like God, the God that you say is at the center of your marriage? I think that's where the cookie crumbles. So, I mean, take it a little further, if you will, maybe with some specific examples. You mentioned being kind like God, being loving like God, being forgiving like God. How does one really do that?
Right.
Which is often so very difficult.
As I said, that we have to be like God, being loving and kind. When we have these characteristics and we relate to people, and let them see that we have these characteristics, we are serving God, because we serve God by serving people. So if I'm able to relate to my husband well,
yes,
and I start it there, then it will replicate across to other persons. And you spoke about the divorce rate. Yes. Reverend Jones, you see, if one can live a good Christian life, then they can live a good marriage life. Because I see this similarity. Yeah. Because the marriage life is like a Christian life. So, and that I always say, if two persons are two real Christian, two true converted Christians, the marriage should not end up in divorce. Because as one of them has to step away, one would have stepped away. So when we say we love God and we are kind and we are gentle and we are courteous and we are loving and we are forgiving, then this should be demonstrated within the marriage. And so I think that if we do this more to each other, then there will be no way of ending up in divorce and being not being tolerable of each other. Because we have to, and Latoya has been using our voice since she began this series, intentional. We have to be intentional.
Absolutely.
We have to be deliberate because we are dealing with life. It's not inanimate object. Whenever we can push things around, we can push paper around. But when we are dealing with human being, we have to be intentional. This is what I want for myself. I love myself and I love you. Remember, the two becomes one. And if I want good for myself, then I should want good for my partner, because we are not operating as two, but we are operating as one. And that's how I think we should live as married persons. And as I said,
because you are pursuing that as the objective for your husband.
Right.
And then at the same time, your husband is pursuing that as an objective for you. So there is that reciprocity. All of what you mentioned, the serving, the serving, the loving, the forgiving. When it's happening mutually, yeah, there is that reciprocity taking place. Then the good that you want for him and the good that he wants for you, then you start seeing that. You use that word, serving your husband. A lot of our men seem to love this idea of being served by their wife and love the whole concept of the wife submitting to the husband kind of a thing. Is that what is being referred to here? She serves you. How do you interpret your wife serving you? What does that mean for you? The whole concept of being served by your wife, and the Bible talking about the wife should submit to the husband.
Okay, so incidentally, as my wife mentioned, just on Sabbath, we were having the same discussion, and that was brought up. One of the persons mentioned that, and I had to clarify.
Yes.
What the statement really means when it talks about the wife should submit herself to her husband.
Yes.
And I made it clear that it's not to be subservient.
Right.
Yes, but how she willingly, voluntarily yields to her husband. And this is out of the love that she feels from her husband. So she has no qualm and no problem in giving him all that he desires because of what she gets from him. So it's a mutual thing. It's two ways. It's right?
Right. So and in response to that, where that is how the husband interprets those actions from his wife as a mark of honor, as a mark of respect, as an outworking of the love that she has for her.
Right.
The man then does what?
So the man then
how does the man then respond to the wife when that is how he sees serving, being served, and how he interprets submission? Does the man gloat in that? Does the man lord it over her? Does the man
not at all. But what we often also overlook is the fact that in the same passage, I think, it also mentioned that we are to submit ourselves one to the other. Right? And oftentimes that is missed.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Verse 21 says, submit yourselves to one another.
Right, exactly.
Being spoken to. Submit yourselves one to another. Out of reverence for Christ.
Yes.
And then at verse 23 says, wives, submit to your husband.
Exactly.
And I often have to say to the men, we rush past 21, rush to 23.
Right.
When 21 clearly says, submit to one another. So again, it's that mutuality, right? The intentional mutuality.
That is it.
The husband serves the wife as well. The husband submits to the wife as well. And notice says, as a way of referencing Christ. So it goes back to what you were saying, Mom, that when Christ is really at the center and you desire to please Christ, then all of those things become easier to do and desirable to be done to each other in marriage.
Right. So I'm so happy you shared those positives, Mom, about marriage, being kind, being loving, and sharing with your partner and loving your partner. And, we tend to share, the happy side, the good side, the always on the mountaintop side of being married. And we know that marriage is a beautiful thing. We know that being married, it honors and pleases God. And as individuals, we have our own set of issues that we come into marriage with as well, because we are humans first. We are prone to mistakes and everything. So even though, yes, marriage is good, marriage is great, but share with us, share with our listeners, those who are, wanting to get married, want more information, even those who are pursuing premarital counseling and so on. Share with us some of the moments or some moments in your own experience that were not so high, your valley experience, and how you overcame that, and you're still together, you're still committed. Obviously, you're still together. It's 37 years and counting, but I'm sure within those 37 years, you had some low moments, you had some doubting moments, share with us some of those, and how you got out and how you decided, hey, we are still moving forward, I'm still committed to him, I'm still committed to her.
All right. So, viewers, listeners, this is part A of episode 6. We know that you are just getting warmed up. We were just getting warmed up, and you are anxious to hear the response to that last question about sharing some of their valley moments, the rocky moments, memorable rocky moments, valley moments in the marriage over the course of the 37 years, and how they overcame. So we will be bringing back Mr. and Mrs. Berry, Easton Berry and Melvine Berry, to continue sharing their story with us, their journey with us. And that will be episode 6, part B, the continuation of the infusion as we reflect on long and lasting love. We do apologize for the placing you right on the edge of your seat, but it was due to some circumstances beyond our control. We have to leave it there for now, but we promise that we will continue the conversation with the Berries right where we left off, and we will get that to you. We want to invite you to continue to tell your friends, tell your family, tell others about the podcast. Remember to subscribe on the YouTube channel, and of course to follow on Instagram at This Is Us Jones Clan. Same handle for Facebook. We're gonna have Twitter very soon. Send us.
Remember to leave your comments. We appreciate the comments.
Absolutely. We absolutely appreciate the comments. Send us your comments. On the Facebook page currently, there's a question about the sharing of bills, in particular, where the wife is earning much more than the husband. And the question actually arose out of the latter part of that conversation with the Berries, how they shared how they handle such matters. So you might want to swing by the Facebook page, handle again, This Is Us Jones Clan on Facebook, and share your thoughts, share your comments on the question that has been posed there. The husband is earning 2 million, the wife is earning 6 million, and the husband is earning 1 million. The husband is earning 2 million, the wife is earning 6 million, and the rent is $2 million. The question is, who should pay the rent? Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Some persons have responded by WhatsApp so far, saying they should split the bill 50-50. Some have said the husband should pay the bill. Some have said the wife should pay the bill. And 2 persons so far have said they need to buy a house. So since they are earning those sums, rather than paying rent, continuing to pay rent, they should buy a house. The question then becomes, of course, if the house is not paid for in full, the question would still remain, because the question would then become, who pays the mortgage? Whatever the mortgage amounts to, who pays the mortgage? All right, so that's it for episode 6, Long and Lasting Love. The Berries have shared about the importance of sacrifice in marriage, successful marriage, the importance of serving each other, mutual service, and being very intentional about that. They also spoke with us about the critical role that their commitment, individual, personal commitment to Jesus Christ and to his principles, his teachings, the critical role that that has played in their choice of each other 37 years ago, and their continuity over those 37 years, with a desire to go for more, as they would have renewed that commitment on the 8th of September, 1 week ago, exchanging fresh, new, bright, sparkling rings as a symbol of that recommitment and signing up for many more years. We thank them for sitting with us, our parents. Remember, at This Is Us, it's about our story, our journey, your journey. On behalf of Latoya and myself, we look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to you continuing on this journey with us. Until next time, this is us.